Hey, this is Robert Monroe here, and I just wanted to do a quick video talking a little bit about an interesting trend that I'm noticing on YouTube videos right now, and just wanted to give your take on what I thought was the good and the bad about this. So what I want to talk about is autotune. Now, you probably already know what this is. Autotune is when you take a recording, generally a voice, and you put an effect on it called autotune, or pitch correction, and what it does is it makes any note that you're singing slightly out of tune and pulls it up or down to the right place. Now, there are some goods about this. Basically, with auto-tune, it allows you to shorten the amount of time that you have to spend making takes and studying a vocal part, because even an untrained singer can sing it once or two times through and then go ahead, throw on auto-tune, and it will pull the voice to the right level. I think this is actually totally fine and good in small amounts. We're all busy right now, and sometimes it's the difference between putting some content out there and just giving up. If you just take the little bit to add in a little bit of auto-tune to, again, one or two notes, you got to fix them, or just in general, you're like, okay, I just want to pull my voice, just get it a little bit more in sync with everything else. Again, nothing wrong with this. This kind of use case is very similar to other forms of effects or post-processing, like reverb is a great example. Maybe you recorded this track and it's direct in with your piano or your keyboard, and you throw on reverb so that it doesn't sound so dead and so dry. This, again, I think is a great use of effects. Compression. Maybe you have the voice and the voice is at one level, the piano's at another level, and they keep switching where they're at, and you want a nice even effect throughout. Compression is great at achieving that. Limiting, that pushes all the volume up, and so it's all nice and at the top so that you can hear everything very clearly in your phone speakers or whatever you're listening to. Again, these are all wonderful, amazing post-processing effects. I think auto-tune has really won its place at the table for these post-processing effects. But the thing where it becomes a problem is when it becomes very obvious that it is being used. And you hear this right away. The most famous example is the T-Pain sort of robot voice. And what's going on there is it's the response time. So auto-tune generally has built in that you can change when the response time is, so that you can say, okay, is it going to hear that my voice is a little out of tune and then immediately push it into being in tune? Or is it going to wait a little bit and then gradually bring it into being in tune? If you pick a immediate response time, like under 200 milliseconds, it's going to be a very severe effect. So you will be more in tune, but it's going to sound more unnatural and like a robot. And if you pick one that's a little bit later, like 200 milliseconds or more, then it's going to be much more, subtle. And you probably won't even necessarily know that the song was auto-tuned and the voice was auto-tuned. Now, let's talk about the pros of both of those things. Maybe you actually want that effect, that robot type effect. This is really common in dance music and hip hop, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the desired effect that you want, go for it. That's amazing. But if that's not the desired effect you want, or the type of style of music just goes more towards being more natural, like, for example, worship music or singer-songwriter, this drives me a little crazy, because, we don't want to be a robot worshiping or pouring our heart out in, a song about breaking up with somebody. We want to be sincere and we want to be genuine. I would rather hear some slightly out of tune notes and have that, actual feeling of authentic voice there than not. So what I'm saying is not to not use autotune. I think use autotune, great. I know I do, and I'm pretty sure everybody does at this point. But think about what you're trying to achieve and listen back to the result. You might need to tweak the settings, or you might decide, hey, you know what? That sounds a little out of tune, but who cares? Being in tune or out of tune is really a matter of personal preference in a lot of ways. So just food for thought. Like this video if you like this content and you agree that autotune is a bit overused. Dislike it if you think, no, I'm totally off base. Comment about why you think I'm wrong. And maybe share this video with somebody that maybe might be using a little too much autotune. All right, have a good day, stay safe, see you guys later.